For centuries, the Roman legion was the most feared force on Earth. But how did a small city-state build such a machine? It wasn't just luck. It was a masterpiece of engineering, discipline, and constant adaptation to new threats. In the beginning, Rome didn't have a professional army. It relied on citizen soldiers who provided their own gear. They developed the maniple system, a flexible checkerboard formation that allowed them to fight on rugged terrain. After brutal lessons in the Samnite Wars, Rome abandoned the rigid Greek phalanx for something more versatile. Central to their success were two weapons, the gladius hispaniensis and the pilum, a heavy javelin. The pilum was designed to bend upon impact, making it impossible to throw back and rendering enemy shields useless. The gladius was a short sword built for the thrust, perfect for the tight, disciplined formations of the legion. The scutum, a large curved rectangular shield, offered nearly full-body protection and became a weapon itself. When under fire, legions could lock these shields into the testudo, creating an almost impenetrable armored shell. But gear was nothing without discipline. Roman soldiers trained harder than any of their contemporaries. They were as much laborers as warriors. Every night, regardless of fatigue, they built a fortified camp from scratch. Rome won through logistics. Their roads ensured that supplies and reinforcements could move faster than any enemy. Their siege engineering was unmatched. If a city wouldn't surrender, Rome would simply build a way in. The biggest shift came with the Marian reforms. Rome needed more men, so Gaius Marius opened the ranks to the poor. The army became a professional career. Soldiers were now loyal to their generals and the promise of land. Marius gave every legion a single symbol, the eagle. Losing it was the ultimate disgrace, forging a deep unit identity. The legion was reorganized into 10 cohorts, creating a more cohesive and powerful tactical unit. The backbone of this system was the centurion, battle-hardened officers who provided leadership on the front lines. They ensured that orders were followed even in the chaos of battle, allowing for complex tactical shifts. Rome's greatest strength was adaptation. In the Punic Wars, they turned a naval disadvantage into a boarding war. By inventing the corvus, they brought their land-fighting expertise to the sea and crushed Carthage's naval supremacy. They also integrated specialists from across the empire, using local expertise to fill gaps in their own ranks. For Rome, war was total. They didn't just win battles, they broke the enemy's will to resist over decades. This machine required immense resources, taxes, manpower, and a political system geared entirely for expansion. For the individual soldier, life was a mix of boredom, back-breaking labor, and moments of sheer terror. Rome even pioneered military medicine with dedicated medics and field hospitals to keep their veterans in the fight. Retiring soldiers were given land in new colonies, effectively Romanizing the borders of the empire. The command structure was meritocratic for its time, allowing talented men to rise through the ranks. They used psychology too. The sight of the disciplined uniform ranks and the sound of the horns was designed to demoralize. As the empire peaked, the machine shifted from conquest to defense, building thousands of miles of walls and forts. The army changed again in the late empire, becoming more mobile and cavalry-heavy to deal with barbarian raids. Economic instability and the reliance on barbarian mercenaries eventually weakened the machine from within. The classic legions faded, but their influence on military organization, law, and engineering would never disappear. Modern armies still use Roman terminology and organizational structures. The template they created is still in use today. From the names of our months to the layout of our cities, the shadow of the Roman soldier is everywhere. The lesson of Rome isn't just about strength. It's about the power of a system that can adapt to any challenge. Their engineering feats, like Caesar's bridge across the Rhine, showed that Rome could conquer geography itself. Rome's ultimate weapon was the promise of citizenship, turning former enemies into loyal defenders of the state. For 1,000 years, the march of the legions was the heartbeat of Western civilization. They built more than an army. They built an empire that defined the world as we know it. A machine made of iron, grit, and an unyielding will to conquer. That was the power of Rome. Thank you for exploring this history with me. Until next time, stay curious.